go.
Is the what do you call that? Is the introduction gone through?
Yeah, we're on.
Okay, we are live. This is the second podcast, WindowsLatest.com. And we have me, Dickwin, and Nicholas over on the side of the line. This week we're going to talk about, it's not too long. We've understood what we did too much wrong. The audio should be better this week. This week we have topics like the new Windows 10 mobile builds for PCs and mobile. It's beginning to be a weekly thing right now as Microsoft is pushing towards a final release for existing devices. Microsoft Edge extensions, and a couple apps like Facebook Messenger arrived to the Windows Store, Mixed Radio, it's bidding farewell for the final update. Instagram beta, and finally the Lumia 650 is finally arriving to US and Canada. Okay, we're having a little technical difficulties. Bear with us for a while. It's in the episode 00001 folder under news discussions.
Okay, I'll just look. News discussions.
Okay, you got it?
Got it, yeah.
Alright. I think you want to start with the mobile build or you want to start with the PC build?
So we're gonna start.
Oops, clicked on
So
button. Alright. We'll start right now.
we'll start off with the build 10586.14. This is a cumulative update for both mobile and PC. It went out at the beginning of the week, I believe Tuesday, for mobile and PC. Microsoft actually noted that this is going to be a build that they're going to roll out to older Lumias, insiders and people with like Lumia 950s got it on Tuesday, and it basically got some improvements with text messaging and crashes and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's mostly bug fixes, I think so at this point.
Yeah. So hopefully we're gonna start to see that rolled out within the next few weeks. Probably after build, maybe. Yeah. Got. Do you have anything to add about that?
I am not very familiar with the mobile builds and I'm using it on my 1020, the mobile build, but on PC at the moment I am not installing the PC builds. But the mobile builds, I don't really touch the difference of the features because the 1020's battery life is still, I don't know, it's bad. Performance is always been snappy ever since the insider builds, but I don't see much difference in it. It's still a little buggy here and there. But yeah, I have not much opinion on these mobiles because my SIM card is not in the main phone of that, so I'm not using it constantly.
Yeah. Okay, so we also had that build released for desktop as well on the same day, so that's good.
A double shot of builds.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about that?
I don't know. You can talk about it. I'm not so familiar with the desktop builds. Is it?
Okay. Um, so that was released for desktop as well, as I said. It basically just all the normal people running Windows 10 on their PCs will get this. So there was compatibility improvements with Bluetooth, some improvements to narrator, issues that affected apps being downloaded, and also a lot of like security fixes for Internet Explorer and Edge. So yeah. Uh,
Yeah, as we said last week, before build is gonna be probably very dry with features and all. It's mostly due to like what you call that. Microsoft is building up the support for it, and after build, during build, they're mostly gonna announce all the new features, everything they're gonna add on it. And after build is where we're gonna see all the nice things, like what we said last week. And hear back the podcast last week, we did say that before build is gonna be all these updates, security updates, what do you call it? Improving the stability of the software. But after build is where we're gonna see all those new redstone features and all those new tweaks in the interface.
yeah. Uh, and we also this week, WinBeta published a report on this, and apparently Edge extensions for desktop are now very close to be coming to insiders, which is really good news because a lot of people have stayed away from Edge because no extensions. So
Yeah, this is a very interesting story because Microsoft was initially was planning it to release in December, but they delayed it. It's been
stayed away from.
Yeah, it has a lot of delays actually, but technically, I was actually doing an experiment over the week. I was using Microsoft Edge for like one whole day, but I completely flipped out because one is that the I have never used Facebook in a long time without advertisements. I've been always using Chrome with the ad block. So it was like Facebook with advertisements like a totally different story because there's like suggested posts, there's all these flashing ads. And some of the websites I don't even know that they have these kind of the advertisements that they this is like it like fills up 3/4 of the screen, in the top of the screen, and it's basically blocking the headline of the website. So it's a weird kind of implementation of advertisements, and Edge has its problem because some of the pages is that it doesn't load properly. It crashes off the. It's not the browser that crashes often, but it's the web pages doesn't want to load. It didn't load on Edge, but it loads perfectly fine on Chrome. And there was one instance that was like it completely crashed my whole computer with Surface Pro 4 because I was watching a YouTube video. I'm not sure why it just crashed. And it also has a problem with YouTube. Somehow when you scroll down to the comments section, Edge starts to like stutter the whole screen. I'm not sure if this is the Edge problem or this is the problem with the Surface Pro 4. But it is a problem, something related to do with Windows 10. And yeah, I'm excited to see the Edge browsers, and Microsoft is probably gonna show off a lot of some of the developers extensions at Build 2016 in the next 2 weeks later. And yeah, they were talking about porting Chrome extensions to Edge last year, and I think that'll probably happen this year. And we will see some extensions like AdBlock and all. But yeah, Edge extension is a very nice part. I think I will try using it after the extensions come out. It'll be a better experience overall.
Yeah, and I heard that Tweet and the Twitter app has also got an extension ready, so should be cool.
Yeah, should be cool. Yeah. Since
Yeah.
they already have a Chrome extension, so an Edge extension is, yeah, it's quite notable.
Yeah. Uh, um,
Let's go on to the next topic.
do you want to do the band? Okay.
Band 2. Microsoft pushes out an update here. Let's load up the news articles. And yeah, we forgot to do something last week. We did leave the timestamp for the, what you call that, articles, but we didn't leave the actual links. But I think this week we will leave the links to the news topics so you can read about them in further if we didn't talk about it that thoroughly. Basically, this is the update for the Microsoft Band 2. And if you remember, the Microsoft Band 2 is Microsoft's answer to a smart wearable. And let's see what the update. Not so sure about this. Could auto pause.
The viewers can't. Yeah. And so earlier this week they had Microsoft released the new update for the Microsoft Band 2. So this featured quite a lot of nice features for Microsoft's Fitness Band. So that some of the new features included you can now auto pause, so when you're doing an exercise it can detect that you've stopped, and when you start exercising again the session resumes, and so that could be quite useful for people when they take breaks.
Yeah, it is quite useful because Microsoft Band, most of people using Microsoft Band are mostly fitness focused, and it's mostly running or doing some weightlifting. Because the Microsoft Band 2 has an array of sensors, it can actually do quite a lot of things. So this is a very important thing because, and it links with Cortana also, so it improves the automation towards the Microsoft Band 2.
Yeah. And we also got some universal apps from Facebook this week. Well, got Instagram on this TMobile, and we also got Facebook Messenger appeared on the store, but that's only for beta testers at the moment.
I wrote a piece of Instagram. We'll leave the links down in the description below. But Instagram, I tried it on the 1020. It was, frankly speaking, I don't know why they even bothered to build the application. But I understand that the application is in beta right now, and the application is, from what we heard is that the application is a direct port from iOS, because as you read in my article, there are some like a very key UI things that they directly did not change when they ported it from iOS. Like the login screen is very similar, the toggles is very similar, but the thing that the Instagram developers did not port over is the speed of what the iOS app could do. The application on Windows 10 mobile is like very 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 slow. The feed is like, it's like screen tearing all over. And I'm not even sure why anyone should use it at this moment because 6 tag is still better. And I think so. The older Windows Phone 8.1 Instagram beta application is much more smoother than this new application. But I think so further down the road, Facebook is pretty committed to Windows 10 and they'll probably improve it. There's no word whether Instagram will bring it to the Windows 10 PC. But yeah, the application is a little still broken right now because it's directly ported and Instagram hasn't done much to it in the last few days. They pushed out a few updates, but the slow speed is still there.
Yeah, I tried it, and it's nice to have quite a lot of the iOS functionality on the Windows app. But yeah, it in places it jutters a little bit, and I think that just needs, they just need to push out a few updates and.
Yeah, they need to get some work done on the application itself. They can't just expect to directly port it. Yeah, this is the problem with what we were talking about last week. Is that porting apps is not that easy. Some things you really need to change from other platforms. You can't just directly copy it. For example, the toggles. It's not Windows Phone like to have these bubbly toggles. Windows Phone is all about the colors and the pop-up screens are all different compared to what iOS or Android has to offer. That's why developers need to think of native applications. Directly porting applications is not going to make anything good. The application will be there, but it's not native. The experience will be bad, and users will not want to use it.
Yeah. On the broadcast, I've put up the article now for Facebook Messenger. So this is what the new app looks like. It's not the public. The public can't get it at the moment. But it's basically very similar to the iOS version. And there's some.
Yeah, it does support things like the chips emoji, and I'm not. Maybe it'll even support the chess game that Facebook has been introducing last few weeks ago. Maybe we're not sure about that, but yeah, it's a good proposition to include that. It'll be a cool thing to play chess on the Facebook Messenger application. But basically, I don't quite use Facebook these days. The Facebook Messenger is. Yeah, I rarely use it. The only reason why I have it is some people they still contact me through Facebook Messenger, and Facebook is like a bitch being what do you call it? They're separating their Facebook app and Facebook Messenger. You need to install a Facebook Messenger in order to contact somebody on Facebook. It's like a weird thing they're doing. But I understand what they're doing. They're trying to leverage what they have in the messaging department. Even though they do own WhatsApp, which is the most used mobile messaging application right now, and Facebook Messenger is second to none. So it's like Facebook is controlling nearly the entire messaging spectrum. Where if you either use Facebook Messenger, or you either use WhatsApp, you're either using something from Facebook. Yeah.
Yeah. What else do we have?
We have mixed radio here.
Mixed radio. I think it was originally Nokia branded. It's been on
It was previously Nokia branded, and then after that, Microsoft got over it, and then they sold it to Line Corporation from Japan, and soon after Line announced that they do not have enough funds to support the company, and they just disbanded them. I don't know why they bought it in the first place, but maybe Mixed Radio does have some assets that Line Corporation wants, because Mixed Radio is basically it's a music streaming service that is free, but they do have a freemium chart where you can skip songs. Basically, they mix the songs for you, so it's just like a random chart. You just say you want to listen to pop music or anyone listen to rock music, you just combine both of that genres, and they'll get up a list of songs for you. Yeah, but basically mixed radio it's dead already. After like I think last few months they released in iOS and Android application, but that didn't turn out pretty well. But they lasted pretty long. It's like 2 years after the Nokia acquisition. They are finally right now. The last update on Windows Phone announced their farewell. It's sad and yeah, it's goodbye mixed radio. Everyone's gonna use Groove Music right now. It's the Microsoft thing.
Yeah, it wouldn't have really made sense for Microsoft to keep it with, Groove.
Yeah, it's either they merged it or they what do you call it. But since Line wanted it, and plus the fact that Satya Nadella actually didn't want Nokia in the first place. They didn't. It was actually Steve Ballmer who purchased Nokia, and yeah, Satya Nadella didn't actually wanted the mobile division. As you can see right now, he's basically pushing towards only a number of phones, and they could have they could have did this kind of product lineup when even without Nokia, because they did have the expertise like from the Surface team. But since Microsoft did bought Steve Ballmer from Microsoft, ex CEO, did eventually buy Nokia out. So yeah, they're stuck with it. They can't do anything with it. Yeah.
Yep, and we
Finally, the Lumia 650. Yeah.
I think we missed out. There was also a mobile Redstone build this week.
You want to do that?
Yeah, just finding the article.
Yeah, we are a little bit mixed up at this moment. It's just the first few weeks, maybe after like 6 or 7 times we should be able to get it right, but at the moment we're still very lost. That maybe after like in the mid of the year, after a couple of months doing this podcasting thing, because I'm very new to this podcasting thing. I've never spoken live on anything actually, so yeah, it's a pretty new thing for both of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe in the future we'll get some guests over to speak in the podcast. But at the moment it's just the both of us. Both of us.
Yeah.
And yeah, just a reminder that Build 2016, it's just 17 days away. It's a little over 2 weeks, but yeah, remember March 30th, the main conference. We should hear a lot about Windows 10 and the software updates. Probably something to do with HoloLens development, but we're not expecting much hardware out from the event, as Microsoft is like keeping off the hardware for in the wait of the new software that is coming out to be stable, because I think that Microsoft has learned their what do you call it, the lesson that they should never release hardware with bad software, as they did with last year Surface Pro 4, the Surface Book, the Lumia 950. Actually, the Microsoft Band 2 was pretty good actually. Just yeah, that's the exception. But other than that, I think they're learning from their mistake not to release hardware before the software matures enough. Yeah. You got the article, the rest of build?
Yeah.
Alright.
On the stream now, I have the new mobile Redstone build. This build is actually only available for the devices, some of the devices that shipped with Windows 10 Mobile.
Yeah, like Lumia 950, 550, and then the other non-Microsoft branded phones. Yeah.
Yeah. There's the Xiaomi Mi 4 and the Alcatel One Touch Fierce XL.
Yeah, we have the Xiaomi Mi 4 and the Alcatel phone. Yeah, Xiaomi Mi 4 is actually not the phone shipping with Windows 10 Mobile. It's just that Microsoft is actively working with Xiaomi to get Windows Phone,
Yeah.
Windows 10 Mobile on their platform, possibly maybe a native Windows 10 mobile phone, because Xiaomi is actually based in China, and their main business is to do with Android products, Android phones. They haven't quite released a Windows 10 device yet, I think so. No, yeah, they did release a Windows 10 tablet a while ago, the Mi Pad 2, I think so. Yeah, something around that region. But yeah, Microsoft is working very closely with Xiaomi on this, and possibly even they're working with OnePlus, as we have heard, to with Windows 10 mobile build. In case you're not sure, OnePlus is the company that is behind the flagship killer from last 2 years. They're planning to release the OnePlus Tree, which is in the by the mid of this year, and maybe they will get out with a Windows 10 mobile device in the future. Yeah, yeah, and what the Bristol built.
Yeah. Yeah. So we had some nice improvements to the phones app. Um, there are now the improvements to the live tiles. And and yeah, and there is some Outlook mail improvements, I think. Well, these might be in 105.86 as well, but it says that. And they also announced the feedback hub. And where's it gone? The feedback hub is gonna be like a mix of like the Insider Hub and the feedback app.
Yeah, they're basically combining both of them. They should have done it a long time, but yeah, they finally realized it.
Yeah. So there are quite a few fixes. In fact, there are lots of fixes here. There was the issues where the device could hang, and issues with live tiles refreshing, and yeah, there's a whole list of them here. It's good to see them fixing it. But of course, the build still has some issues. Mainly issues to do with Bluetooth and also Microsoft Band syncing problems at the moment.
Yeah.
Also for people who still use web encryption on their Wi-Fi networks, apparently there are some issues with that as well. And also those who use Continuum for phones, it says they might get some issues if they haven't already updated the firmware. So yeah.
Are we done with that topic?
Yeah.
I think we're moving to the last topic of today. Is the Lumia 650 is finally coming to the US and Canada. Is it, Nicholas? Is the Lumia 650 in the UK yet?
Yeah, it's actually on sale here.
Oh, it's on sale. How
Already.
much? How many quid is it going for? 150 quid?
I think it's about 160. I'll just check.
160 quid. Yeah, but basically the Lumia 650 is finally coming to the US and North America. And yeah, the device is claimed to be the last Lumia device, what said, but I'm not sure about that. Maybe Microsoft going to release like a couple more Lumia phones, but it's not sure about that. But the Lumia 650 will be coming to Canada at an unspecified, but it is coming. Microsoft has announced it's going for 199 US dollars and 199 Canadian dollars. But I think, yeah, you will get a better deal if you buy in Canada because the exchange rate is significantly not so much lower than US dollars. It's also going for 199 Canadian dollars. Yeah, but is the price 160 quid in UK?
Yeah, the price is 159.99
Yeah,
in the UK.
160 quid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, have you tried on at the Microsoft Store or something?
Yeah, that's the Microsoft Store. Looks like there are. Looks like there are some cheaper prices on like Amazon.
Oh yeah, Amazon is always getting deals. But have you actually tried it in the Microsoft Store itself, the device, the Lumia 650 itself?
Not yet because
No.
we don't actually have Microsoft retail stores in the UK.
Oh
So
really?
yeah, it's
Which part of the UK are you staying in?
well, I'm in Devon,
Oh, that okay.
I don't think they even have them in London. The retail
Okay.
stores.
I think they have like authorized resellers, but maybe the big stores. I'm not so sure about the UK, but yeah. We have quite a lot of Microsoft stores here, and I'm expecting to try it out about in the next few weeks. I'll write up an article about what I feel about number 650. Basically, it looks like a very nice phone. The hardware build is way better than any other Microsoft branded phones released right now. But the problem I can see with this device is that it's running a Snapdragon 212 processor. Microsoft didn't even want to include a Snapdragon 400. I'm not sure why. It does have 1 gigs of RAM, a 5-inch 720p display, and an 8 megapixel camera. But for $199, you can technically get a better Android phone for this price, given that it's just a Snapdragon 212. I think the major selling point of this is that it's a nice looking phone, but Microsoft isn't targeting this for towards what you call it normal general consumers. As with the Lumia 550, I think the Lumia 650 is also targeted towards business users from this point of view. Yeah.
Yeah. So they wanted to like make a phone that had like mid-range kind of specs
Yeah.
for like business, but obviously they didn't want to make it too expensive
Yeah.
because businesses want to generally keep costs down. So yeah.
Yeah, but for like general tasks, I think so. Windows 10 Mobile should be optimized for the Snapdragon 212, but who knows? Maybe future because Microsoft is in talks with the what's the other chip manufacturer? I think what's the other chip manufacturer that Microsoft is considering to build Windows Phone other than Qualcomm? What is that? Yeah, MediaTek. They're looking towards MediaTek, and maybe Intel. So yeah, they're working with Intel because from the past we only had Qualcomm Snapdragon powered Windows phones in the past, but it looks like Microsoft is finally going on the deal to have both MediaTek and Intel to both support Windows 10 Mobile, Windows Phone also, since they do support the PC. And yeah, if MediaTek comes in, Windows Phone should go at a significantly lower prices because of what Qualcomm is having is basically they have a higher price margin compared to MediaTek. MediaTek is known for their lower prices. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah, I think we're done this week actually now,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So thanks for watching. If
This is me, Dickwin, and that is Nicholas there. And just remember that we'll leave the links to everything down in the description below as forward the timestamp and join us next week maybe. And yeah, expect
yeah,
more news about Microsoft in the next week as we approach Build 2016.
Yeah, and subscribe and like.
Hit that like button and you'll join us next week.
And if you have any questions you want us to answer in next week's podcast, you can tweet with hashtag WLPodcast, or you can email us or comment on our site. Okay.